Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I'm running behind, but I was literally just on a phone call halfway around the world in Australia. And just so you guys know, it's their Tuesday morning. So I apologize, but you got to give me another 30 seconds because I do have to send an email and then I can go on lunch and we can get to the show started. And so obviously, since I'm starting late and my lunch is starting late, I'll be able to go on past the 8 o'clock hour my time and make up the full hour. So just give me a couple minutes to get this wrapped up in a nice little neat bow, and then I'll be right back. And I'll let you guys stare at the awesome collection of cars back here on the wall. If you notice, I kind of lowered the camera to try to get the glare out of the ceiling light, ceiling fan light. So like I said, I'm trying to make it a better experience, and I got notification that the deposit will be made from YouTube into my bank account this week. So new camera coming soon. So give me just a second. Watch out, you move. Come on, move. Move. Just a second. I'm just about there. All right. I'm sorry. All 24 of you that showed up tonight, I apologize. But we recently had a person in my department where I work leave, and it was her month to work the Monday night late shift that we have once a month for our Asia Pacific partners. Um, and so, long story short, since she couldn't work it, I said that I could work it as long as I could have the hour off that I needed to do my show on Monday night because I got my people that I need to talk to. Like I said, this is episode 4, and I want to keep it going. So far, I've got a lot of positive feedback on it, and I want to keep it that way. So let's see there. Trying to catch it up. Oh yeah, Rich. Okay, so see, I've had a lot of stuff going on today, but um, just to give you guys a quick little update, and then I'll start reading some more of the chat. I actually sat at the post office today for 45 minutes waiting to talk to the postmaster in my local office. Spoke to the postmaster. Adam already knows the story. I got a lot of blah, 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 blah. Not my fault, not my fault. Didn't have any reason or rhyme or reason why I wasn't getting my mail, but assured me that they were working on it and that I wasn't the only person that complained. So basically, it's like I told Adam. It really didn't get anything solved other than the fact that he got to hear me personally face to face bitch to him about the issues that I've been having going on with my service. So. Hey, all right. So here we go. So I see Beach, I see Rich, I see Mark, Adam. Thank you, sir. Rich the SLOTCAR room. Robert Fish. Hey, Fish. Thanks for showing up, buddy. Mike. Hey, thank you, man. All right, Steffi. Oh, Steffi's here too. Thanks, Steph. Bill, thank you, Sifton. Hi, James. Thank you. I hope Angela's, like I said, doing better. Hope Steffi's feeling better too, Steph. Everybody's getting sick on me. Machine Madness. Hey, Scotty. All right, man. Kenny. Brianna. Hey, Chris. All right. Glad you can make it, man. Kevin. All right, man. Going to be the freezer to look for. Nice. That's so cool. Oh, and just so you guys get an update, while I was gone bitching at the postmaster, waiting to bitch and then bitching at the postmaster, they actually delivered one of my Viper packages, one of my Wizard packages, and part of my Amazon order. And then I got a text message from him saying that the other stuff had been delayed. Waiting for, hey, Chris, yeah. Hey, Arbuckle, thanks for showing up, man. So the good news is Mike and Steffi. A, I'm glad to hear you're feeling better. But B, Mike, the good news for you, buddy, is the parts that the first box that came in out of the 2 orders is enough for me to finish yours, the mayor's, and Mr. Patrick Clark's cars. And so all 4 of those cars are going to be getting worked on tonight after I get off work at midnight, because I got to wind down after talking to people all night about paying their bills, especially from Australia, because sometimes they can get a little difficult to understand. It's just like my hillbilly slang that I have. You just have to get used to it. But anyway, so there's the good news. I'll be able to do that. And then I did order extra parts, and I am doing a lot of testing on 3.5 ohm arms, hopped up stock arms, and then I'm still waiting on my new 440 X3 arms to get in here. And then Mark, I'm glad you're here, buddy. I haven't been able to ship the car that I told you I was going to ship because I've been waiting on that Viper order. So yours is car number 5. And once I get that one done, then I'm going to ship that off to you. So you can embarrass my Tyco on your Viper track with one of your Viper cars. But irregardless, like I said, it's all in good fun. And I hope everybody enjoys seeing a Tyco Viper race off on a Viper track. I think that's going to be pretty cool. That'll be the good content for your channel, man. Hey, Dell. Yeah, dude. No. Like I said, just because it runs as good or the same times as it does on my track with the Viper doesn't mean it's going to run that way on your track. And you know that just as well as I do. Beach and I were talking about how having to set up your car differently at every track that you guys go and race at, and that I know that just from my track having bank corners, I have to raise the front ends up on lower bodied cars, or they will actually lift the pin on the 9-inch bank on the inside lane. So, whenever I'm putting the O-ring front ends on and stuff like that, I have to order extra taller O-rings, which I'm getting ready to take care of that problem. Just go to the hardware store. But anyway, irregardless. So there's some modifications to my cars that I have to make for my track for them to work correctly. But if it's on a flat track, then you can keep dropping it down even more. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to drop it as low as I can get it on my track, and then we're going to see what happens on yours. So it's going to be cool. Cool, man. I am so happy. 30 people showing up on a Monday night. I apologize for being late. Tolerant. Well, it is horrible, man. But like I said, then the last 15 minutes of the show, like I tell you guys every Monday night, that I can kind of give you an update if there was any racing action or if I've done any modifications to my cars and stuff like that. Well, I have some news, because we did a couple of the guys made it over, and we got to try some of the hop up parts. Thanks again to Mark's suggestions on the independent front ends and those Max Tracks Viper V-Spec traction magnets. One of the guys got to try out a set of those. And so I'll give you guys an update on all that good stuff there. And I'll show you what I'm talking about as far as the bank corner stuff and why I have to raise the front end of the car a little bit if it's got a low body on it, or what I'm going to do, like I said, to modify my body to keep it nice and low so I don't have to put the taller O-rings on it. A plumbing assortment of O-rings. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. On the road, stuck in the hotel room again. Oh, dude, when I work for Snap-on Tools, trust me, I know exactly how you feel, because my territory, I went all the way up to just short of Jeff City, Kansas City, and St. Louis, and then down just into northern Arkansas, over into Kansas, into Oklahoma. And yeah, a lot of driving, a lot of time away. Cool. Well, I hope everybody had a good weekend. I know that some people got to do some racing, and I got to see some live feeds of Rihanna and Adam doing some racing. That was kind of cool. Adam got his second lane run up and running. And then while I was talking to Beach on the phone, I got to watch Mark and his family do some racing. So that was kind of cool. Like I said, as soon as the new camera gets here and I'm able to show stuff a little more clearly, like the timing and the track separately, like I plan on doing, then like I said, we'll be able to show some of the stuff that I'm talking about after the shows on Saturday nights, because the computer that I'm on right now is the one I use for my timing system, but I'm going to start using the one for my laptop for all the other communications. So slowly got to migrate everything over, but eventually, now that I know the new camera is coming, I'm just going to load the software on that one, and then that's the new laptop that I'll be using. The one that the mayor helped me out with, by the way, which was another one this weekend. We got to see Kenton there of HO Trains and Slot Cars. He was there racing with the mayor as well as several other people. And I got one of the JC, I believe I got to see one of the little comments right before I went on, clicked on earlier before I had to make my phone call, that he was at the mayor's and the mayor gave him a sticker, and he's now one of the newest channel members or subscribers, I'm sorry, which is really cool. And then, like I said, the amount of people and stuff showing off this weekend just warms the heart, because the more people I see racing, that just tells me there's more interest in the hobby, and that's what we all want. And if you haven't got to check out Rich, he's got a new controller finally, so everyone give Rich a Slot Car Room a round of applause for joining the 21st century. He broke down and got him an OS3, and I'm guessing it looks something like this, Rich? I don't know what colors yours is yet. I haven't had a chance to watch videos. And then Bob at the Electric Avenue, he finally got his package from the Scott's House of HO Racing due to the post office difficulties. And he did a nice little video, and I shared a post on that. That was pretty cool. So thank you, Bob. If you're not here tonight, if you get to watch this later, for doing that, I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the car. Exactly. Yours is blue too. Well, you see, I color coded tonight. Hey, Jack. We're all talking about James Zittiti. Oh, okay. The Italian dish that I was sitting there drooling over. Same color. Okay, yeah. No, I haven't even seen the video. I just saw someone give Rich a hard time on Discord when I was on my first break. I was trying to keep up with stuff because my phone keeps going off because nobody knows that I'm working this late shift tonight. And I saw someone say that his first short was just nothing but a little bit of music and nothing. And there was no video. So I saw Rich said he was going to do it again. So I haven't even seen the first little part. Oh, yep. There you go. So yeah, Adam just brings up a good point. I want to point out that if you do win the grand prize of the track set for the 3K giveaway, which is going to be announced this Saturday night on the details, the name of it, all that good stuff will be given out on Saturday night. I'm sorry. But as far as the grand prize go, it has to be in the U.S. only, because shipping international, even just to Canada, is a deal breaker. It would cost us more to try to ship that track halfway around the world than the track would cost itself. And neither Adam or I can afford to do that. So it will have to be U.S. only. But if you are international and you do win, then I will pony up and at least ship you a car. So if you are an international subscriber and you do win the grand prize, I apologize, but we will not be able to send you the track set, but I will send you a free carded car. I can afford to send the shipping for a smaller box, and they don't weigh that much. So even if it went halfway around the world to Australia, it wouldn't cost. It would cost double what the car cost. So I can handle that, but I can't handle $400 to ship to Australia. So I apologize to everybody. But if you are international, don't be depressed, please. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I hope you understand. But you will at least get some sort of a prize. It just won't be that big grand prize. The Hoosier drag slicks. Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, I do run Hoosier on my car. So yeah. I'll trade you for a #1 Tyco for one of them. Hey, Patrick, I hope you heard the good news. I got the Viper order in enough to finish yours, the mayor's, and Mike's cars, and then finish up the one that I'm going to be sending off to Mark's Slot Car Garage so he can put my hopped up Viper killer Tyco to the test and see if we can't get a little Tyco love to show that if you put a little attention to a Tyco, that you can run with the Viper boys, albeit a little extra work. It's a lot easier to call up Viper to order online and just get it delivered to your door. But if you're a tinkerer and a builder like I am, you're always wanting to try to find some better way to do something, always tear something apart and put it back together. So there's a lot of us out there. So I thought it'd be really cool to do that. And once I get the new camera, that won't be the only time I build that car. And I'll do a video on step by step on exactly which parts I used, what I did to modify certain parts, and how I kept it under that $50 threshold that I'd made for the my own little personal contest. Hey, yeah, no problem, man. I'm so sorry, man. I'm still waiting on another box, but I got enough parts to do the cars that I just mentioned off. So that's the first five are the most important five to me right now, and then I can worry about all the other stuff, when the other parts get here. That's cool. Well, guys, I was about 8 to 9 minutes behind before I started tonight, and but based on my math, that gives me about 15 minutes. I'm about 7 minutes in, so I'm going to do a little quick swig of this Mountain Dew and get me another one here and kind of catch up on what's people. He held it. He saw it. He held up the camera just view. Oh, yes. No, Mayor. I saw the mug video. Yes, I did. I Those of you that see that, you'll understand. If you don't understand, just know that it's funny to those of us that do, and I'm not going to explain it. Oh, the computer monitor just went to sleep on me for work. Yeah, I got to do no drama. Thanks for giving me your information, man. I'll get that invoice out to you tonight. Oh, no, hey, Mo, no problem, Robert. Thank you for showing up, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for your support, man. I appreciate it. If you don't know, you don't know. That's funny. Oh my God, I love you guys. Seriously. I look forward now to Saturdays and Mondays. And trust me, if your hour of lunch is get spent with your slot car buddies, that's a great hour of lunch. So all I can say is thank you for spending your time with me on my lunch hour with you to show off some of the stuff in the old Scott's House of HO Racing. Obviously, I'm on a liquid diet, but since I don't drink, you see the liquid. So, all right. let me get this opened up, and then we will get started with the first track set for tonight. And the one we're going to start with tonight is the one that you saw in the thumbnail. It's the Police Pursuit Hot Wheels set that you saw that said over 400-mile-an-hour scale speed. Like I said, I'm going to try to break them up between, you know, every night that I show them, I'll try to show a non-racing racetrack and a racing racetrack. And so I've noticed that a lot more people like to see certain thumbnails. I'm learning this YouTube thing slowly but surely. I'm a slow learner, but I have noticed that a lot of the changes that I've made in the way I'm doing my videos and certain thumbnails and stuff that's really taken off the channel. And all I can say is it's great because I'm drawing more and more people in to watch videos. And as a residual of my videos, I know that other people's videos that I'm subscribed to are getting more views too. So if one person's winning, we all win. And if you're winning, then we're winning. I mean, it's just, see, that's how YouTube works. So if you're watching me now and you have a channel, trust me, there's other people that are going to be watching your channel from me. And if they haven't seen my channel before and they're watching yours, they're going to see my channel from you. That's how YouTube works. And that's, I can, like I said, watch the views and everything gone up. That the channel set a record for the most views in one in the 28-day period is how they do it. And in the last 28 days, this channel, with your guys' support and your help, because like I said, when you guys watch, it puts it out into other people's stuff that you're subscribed, you know, that watches your channels and that they're subscribed to, and so on and so forth. 10,000 views in 28 days. That's the most I've ever had, ever. 10,000 views in 28 days. So thank you guys. Awesome. Just freaking awesome. So here we go. Here's the first Saturday night. There it is. Sorry. There we go. We got the classic Bandit Trans Am versus the Cheese Wedge, what I call Camaro. Yeah, no, guys, I can't. It's not me. It's not me doing this. It's you guys that are watching and doing all this stuff. I can't express that enough. That's how the algorithm works. Is if you guys don't watch, the channel doesn't get pushed. Other people's stuff don't get watched. So everybody in this community needs to pat themselves on the back. As you can see, we got another what I call the standard standby figure 8. So there's a good look at the cars, and those are actually the cars that are in the box. And if you notice what's unique about this one, like I said, I always try to pick track sets that have, well, always try to show something unique about the track set that I'm showing, because almost all of them have something unique. But the unique thing about this one is it's got a battery power pack. Pretty cool, huh? So you charge that bad boy up, and then the track's portable. Good question, Mayor. Let's read on the back and see what they tell us. I didn't have a lot of time to prep because I was on the phone to Australia. Okay, so once again, this one doesn't have their 3-way controllers, but it is a battery pack. Yeah, see, it even says it. Oh, no, I guess it is 3-speed precision. There it is. And those would be the ones like I've mentioned. Well, here. This one's been open because I got the cars out. So we will. I've been talking about these kitty controllers of a way that they used to before the variable power packs that everybody has now. This was Mattel's way of doing this. I thought it was brilliant. Those of you that have a Tyco Hot Wheels whatever set, you know what I'm talking about. But those of you that don't, this will be very interesting to see. If these are the correct controllers, you know, you never know when you're buying something used from somebody. Boy, They use the super duper saran wrap on this bad boy. Good thing it's not food and I'm hungry. Mike has the info. Oh, there it is right there. 6 volts, 4D cells. Cool. Thanks, Mike. See, I love my channel, man. If I don't know it, someone does. That's what I tell everybody all the time. I am not a guru. The people that support the channel that are in the chat, they're the gurus. And it does. There it is. Okay, so here we go. Here's the controller I've been talking about. As you can see, it's got a mechanical slider, and it limits the trigger. Here. So see, it can't go all the way. So I go to level 2, and let's go a little farther. Level 3 would be your expert, and you're wide open. And so to get your kids involved, that's an awesome idea, guys. Think about that for a second. This is how many years ago? What's this track say? 2007. So it's what, 17 years old? So 17 years ago, instead of coming out with the variable power pack like AFX Race Masters did and Auto World did, they were thinking outside the box with the battery pack, which is pretty cool, and then this variable controller. And like I said, it was just a matter of, this is what I was trying to explain without my visual. It's just a manual control that limits the trigger line. So pretty cool. Hey, everybody needs to go vote on which 2 cars you want to see Steve and Cheryl race at BS Slots. I personally voted for the F1 cars, so you know my vote, Steve. Thank you for showing up, buddy. Yeah, see, Dell, that's what I've been saying is I think it would be really cool if somebody tried to bring HO racing into the 21st century. And I think Mattel was on the right track. And I think Auto World and Race Masters are on the right track right now. You know, think about what they're doing. I mean, you know, they got the wireless controllers. They're trying. But I mean, this is just like I said, it's kind of cool to see that 17 years ago, Mattel, you know, told their engineers, you know, we got to find a way that we can keep these cars on the track for kids so they don't always crash them and they're not always getting returned to the department stores for returns. And that, you know, that's a killer, you know, on sales. If your kids don't like to play with it, or if they broke the car and the shoe fell off and it lost the spring, then, you know, what did you do? Well, 9 times out of 10, the parents would just load it up and take it back to the store and say, I want my money back, and go buy something else. Nice. Yeah, they had that clip. Yeah, but I'm just saying to being actually, you know, have a new part engineered instead of just some, you know, extra part thrown on. But anyway, so those are the controllers that I've been describing. It's a simple figure 8 set. You know, nothing spectacular. My dog's hungry. Like I said, this is normally their dinner time, and so she's upset that I'm not feeding. So this one, like I said, it has a couple of unique features: the batteries and the controllers, and then the set-only cars. And I know a lot of people just want to care about this. They just care about the cars. So here, let's get rid of that. And let's show off what I call the Smokey and the Bandit and the Cheese Wedge. So there's the cars. And you notice it's got chrome rims on the car, and on the box it had it as they called those wheels snowflakes, I think. Slot Cars for life. Hey man, thanks for showing up, man. Slot Car League of Champions, my buddy. Another good man. You need to go check out his channel. These are pretty cool looking cars. I wish that they would have made the lights work. You know what I'm saying? But this is like at the very end of Tyco and Mattel and Hot Wheels Electric Racing. So you're getting to see one of the last track sets right there that they produced. Pretty cool cars. Pretty good looking cars. You can find them on eBay every so often, or Etsy, or Marketplace, or chassis. These are the Mattel versions. Wow, look at the camera working tonight. Impressive. And I don't know if this one was lighted or not, but I think it is. No, yeah, it's supposed to be light. It's a lighted, but it's not lighted. See what I'm saying? It's a lighted lighted body, but it's not a lighted chassis. So, but it is a Mattel version of the 440X2. Both of them. I notice if I put it in front of my face a little more or stuff that it focuses a little better. So yeah, that's the first set for tonight. I think they were trying to like get the old cops and robbers thing going again. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know why you would put a new Camaro with an old Trans Am. I really don't, but I guess they were trying to appeal to both age groups. Anyway, there it is. And if you notice on the back windshield on the cop car, it's got the traditional Hot Wheels logo, and it's got the blue window glass, which is pretty cool. So they did some personal touches to it and stuff like that. And if you remember the different Trans Ams and stuff, this one's they didn't do a lot of the gold trim on this one. It's a lot plainer. Yeah, I love those chrome wheels, man. No, that's what set this one off. That's what makes it stand out as the set car. That and the lack of gold on the Trans Am itself. A lot of the older models have the gold outline all the way around on where the T-tops would be. There's a gold stripe along the bottom. There's a lot more gold in the front. Like I said, they stripped down a lot of the stuff off of it, which I think it made it look better. But pretty cool cars, pretty cool track. Like I said, trying to share some stuff you may not see every day. Mattel saving money. Yep, that's it right there. Well, like I said, 2007. That was we're talking about the bitter end. So, that's what, like I said, that was another one of the things I thought was unique about that one. Anybody else out there? While I'm taking a swig, anybody else out there have that track? Like I said, it's just a simple figure 8, but it was towards the end. Yeah, the bitter end had horrible cars. Well, they were trying to do anything they could, and I've got a few track sets that I'm going to show you where they tried to make the cars look like Hot Wheels, and like I said, they were doing anything I got to give it to Mattel. They were trying to do anything they could to try to get kids interested in it. But you got to remember that's about the time that everybody was already on they're starting their Xbox journey, or they were still working on their Nintendo, or whatever. And so video games were really starting to take off. The computers, internet was taking off. So every time Rich is what a giveaway. No, he is like Mr. Lucky Charms. And thank you again, Rich, for doing that, regifting that out. And Jane, you'll be happy to know I'll be done with the mayor's car here shortly, and I'll be getting your 2 pit kits in his car and some stickers headed your way. So the second set tonight, I didn't get to buy new. This one's used, but still pretty unique. There we go. And that is the front of the package. So it's showing you the world tour, showing you the different tracks, 6 in 1. And it came with the Buzzing Hornets and Mika Hakkinen McLaren. And here's the back. Pretty cool. This is when they were trying to add the diorama stuff to it, so they had the cardboard cutouts and stuff like this. So this was a little more of an expensive track. This had an actual traditional wall wart. Then you can look at all the different layouts that you could make with that track. So this is kind of like a little mini international AFX track, except 2-lane, which is pretty cool. Stupid cardboard cutouts. But you got to know, man. I mean, they were, like I said, you got to remember, these are toys, and they already knew they had us on the hook. They were trying to bring more people in on the hook. So let's see here. This track is the one they're calling Brazil. And this one had to have been released in 4 different countries because there's 4 different languages on here. Trying to find the date. Good grief. Well, I'm going to have to look in the book. I got the book right over here. Yeah, well, at least with the with these little cardboard things, if the card hits them, or if the card hits the cardboard cutouts, then at least it'll just knock them over. And if it's a plastic bill, then it's probably going to get damaged. So I'm still trying to find the date. This is a Formula Tyco set, as you can see there. And then another thing that's unique about this one, as you can see there, it's officially licensed by Jordan and McLaren. Man, that's so weird. All these different languages all over this thing, and you'd think there'd be a date all over it somewhere. I know it was made in China because it says that several times. Has anybody found the date ahead of me? No, it's not on here. There are all sorts of addresses for, like I said, for the international stuff. No, it's a China track. It was made in China. That's what all this stuff is on the back that's confusing me, and I'm just trying to find a date. Because it's got all the legal mumbo jumbo. Oh, well. I know what I can do. I got my Tyco Bible right there, and hopefully it's right. But anyway, so here's one last look at the front of the box. Formula Tyco, and officially licensed by Jordan and McLaren. And here's the cars. Malaysia, yeah. Wow, 42 of you guys here tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, men and women. Thank you all. So you can see it's got the pretty cool little Buzzing Hornets layout. It's got the Mika Hakkinen. China F1 500 Raceway. Yeah. Yeah. They're all pretty much China raceways. See how close I can get it so you guys can try to get some detail on it. It says 4 inches is what it says on the manual. I've been trying to get it to where I can show stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I made sure that when I bought that track set that the cars were in perfect shape. And there's several different. If you missed the one of my other Monday night shows, I had another Buzzin' Hornets in there with a Ferrari, and then there's several versions of the Buzzin' Hornet. There's Bitten Heroes, Bitten and Hisses, and Bitten Heroes. Besides the Buzzin' Hornets livery, and there's several versions of this Mika Hakkinen, and I'll show you the difference in the Mikas whenever we get to another one of those track sets because it's a European only release. And believe it or not, they had 2 different versions of this Mika car, depending on if it was released in the United States or if it was released in Europe. And fortunately for me, I have both tracks, and I have the track that was released in Europe too with the cars. So we'll get to see those 2 at a later date. But one more good look at those. 98 to 2001. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, it's the good stuff. Yeah, Hong Kong knew how to make stuff. It's Taiwan that seems to have its issues, but pretty cool stuff, guys. So any of you guys have either one of these tracks? 1999. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you too, Kevin. Yeah, it's the same as everything. The track is all still Tyco. They just started trying to branch out and go international. I've got a couple of international F1 track sets that came with only exclusive F1 cars that released in Europe, which I always thought was weird. Like Tomy and AFX do that for Japan. They have a lot of Japanese release only cars or Australia release only cars. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, HO Hobby is global. Why don't you just release those cars everywhere? Oh, thank you, James. Oh, see, Mike, yeah. I was just telling Beach the other day that I found the largest Tomy AFX 4-lane track set that they ever made, and it's called the Suzuka track, and it comes with 4 Japanese exclusive cars, and it's still brand new in the box. It's $600. Yeah. Yeah, me too. But I can't come up with myself to part with $600 for something that I know I just want to put the 4 cars on there and display the box. I don't have that kind of money. Oh yeah, no, Suzuki is. I race it a lot when I do my international racing and stuff like that on my Xbox. I race a lot of tracks that I know I'm never going to get to race in real life. So when I'm watching them on TV, I know whenever they go into the driver's view on how they're going up for one corner and stuff like that, I know exactly where they're at. You know, because I've driven that track so many thousands of times from my youth all the way up. I mean, you got to remember, I'm old enough to see Pong. So I remember when they had 2 lines going across the screen like this and a little square that was supposed to be a ball going across a line that was supposed to represent a net, and it would bounce. And that's all you did. And the paddle controllers were just the dials and it just rotated up and down. So I've been in video games since then. My Atari 2600 and worked my way up. How long is it, Kenny? I'll have to do some research unless Mike knows. Hey, Danny, thanks for showing up, man. And see, there you go, Mayor. You know what I'm talking about. So good old Pong. And then I thought I was the cat's meow when I got me an Atari 2600. And then a buddy of mine that I went to school with and grew up with, he got him a Commodore 64. Woo, you know. I learned real quick that I was never going to be a computer programmer. And you guys heard how slow I type, and a lot of beer. There it is, James. See, I know my age group, where we're at. So, if you missed the beginning of the show, like I know a lot of people, 43 people, man, on a Monday night, that is so awesome. Thank you for spending your hour of your time with me. And just in case you missed it, I got started late, so it means I'm going to be running a little later than normal, but it's still my normal hour because I'm actually on lunch from my job because I work till midnight tonight, my time, taking care of the Eastern Asia Pacific part of the world is what we call it, APAC. So I'm dealing with a lot of people from Australia. So it's always cool to listen to Aussies talk to me sometimes. And I just got off of the phone with a nice Trisha from Australia. So, but anyway, thank you guys for showing up. The YouTube would let me know that the money will be deposited here in the next 2 to 3 days, which means, like I've already told you, if you missed the show Saturday night, it's already in my Amazon cart. Thank you again, Raul with Conquest Wasting, for the suggestion and help. Sent me the link, so hopefully he'll get a little cabbage back on that deal whenever I do get to purchase it. And then it'll get here just as soon as possible, and I can download it on the new computer so that this computer that I'm using right now can be used strictly for the timing system for the track. And then hopefully here in a couple of weeks, you guys will be able to see some of the testing and some of the racing that maybe we do if you're wanting to stay up after the show's over on Saturday night, because that's usually when the guys come over. And if you're a night owl like we are, we usually quit racing somewhere around 2 to 2:30 at night. So without further ado, I'm going to show off some stuff here. First, I want to say a shout out to Steve's Custom Aluminum Rims again. And in case you guys missed the show Saturday night, this is what his aluminum rims want. He's got 3 or 4 different styles for the Vipers right now. There it goes. And so those are his aluminum rims on the rear, and that's the Viper Independence on the front, and that's on a V-Spec Viper. And this is my Mustang I used to race until I swapped over. So if you're looking to snazzy up your Viper, I can tell you I ran this car on the track, and since his rims are a little taller and it had a little taller tire on it, it gave me more top end. So now I need to throw some stronger magnets on the bad boy so that I can actually take full advantage of that extra speed that I have and stay on the corners, because it did increase. It's just like anything. It's a gear multiplication. And when I made the tire taller, it basically gave me more top end speed. So it was kind of cool to see that effect directly just because of the change on the tires and the wheels. But if you will notice, I did get a new addition to the family here, and that's this bad boy right here. And so this is going to be the new official racer along with my Shadow over here. So here's the Shadow that has been my racer. And this is the one that I just got to as part of a little GT40 stock Mega G Plus IROC class that I'm going to have. So I'm going to put both of those down. Yeah, Mark. No, he reached out to me to try to get a hold of you. And I knew what he was doing. I just didn't want to give it away. Steve's a good man. You're going to find that out. He's he's like a lot of people that support the channel that are here tonight, like Adam and Chris, and just everybody that does stuff behind the scenes for the channel that a lot of people don't get to see. And like I said, his help with some of the giveaway stuff. Like I said, so these are going to be the 2 new house racers for Scott. These are new my personal cars. And this one's still on the AFX chassis right now. Like I said, it's brand new, but it will have a V-Spec underneath it. So everybody wants to know, did you hold on to being king of your own track 2 weeks in a row, or 2 times in a row, not 2 weeks in a row? And the answer is yes. But sadly, I wasn't the fastest guy on my own track. And this time, it was by a full 900ths of a second. So it was almost a full 10th. But I was 2 out of the 4 lanes fastest. And so that gave me the king of the track again. But I did not win the fastest lap time. But I have learned that my V-spec with this GT40 body on it is consistent in the 350 to 360 range around my track. And my track is right around 69 feet. And so I'm covering in the red lane, which is my longest lane way around my track, around 3.5 to 3.6 seconds. The fastest lap that was set that night on this last Saturday night was 3.45. So he's just a few hundreds ahead of me, but still hundreds are hundreds. But I can rip off 360s and consistently 360s easily. So this one is bone stock, is the way it came from Viper, and all I did was put a lowering clip on it, and bam. And then another one's going to go underneath this one, but this one is going to be the one that is going to be my main racer, and this one's going to be the backup just in case anything happens to this one while I'm going. So this is the one that's going to start getting all the modifications that with the new camera, you guys are going to get to watch as I get to build my Viper, kind of like you watched Mark. You're going to get to see what I do in stages when I convert this to a Viper chassis and I start adding magnets and different size tires, and I start playing with tire heights, you know, and stiffnesses and stuff like that. So I just wanted to give you guys a little preview update on that. You know, a couple of things that if you did miss the show last week, I want to point out again is that these new Mark IV bodies right here, the body is molded in with the clip. So you cannot put a Viper underneath one of these cars. See that? There's your clip, and there's no clip on the chassis. So you have to get the right GT40 body in order to do what we're doing on my track. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't want, if you think to yourself, well, I don't want to spend all that money on just a chassis. Well, that's why I'm going to have this IROC class, and I plan on using these leftover chassis that I'm substituting these for as the backup chassis for, as we all know, when these can motors burn up, I've got a quick replacement for it. But if you don't want to spend that kind of money and you don't have any intentions of doing like that, but you still want to take advantage of that GT40 body, my tip to you is to go to protinkertoys.com, talk to Brian, Ryan, and Danny, and get one of their awesome pit kits right there. See? They've got 4 of them, and they're GT40 bodies. And if you missed my last episode where I was talking about, I found my little scale on how to weigh the bodies for weight. If you take out the front light and the mounting assembly for the headlight in the red Takara, whatever it is, isn't that what it's called? I don't know. Anyway, the red version that they have, if you take the headlight assembly out that they have for it and the glass out of it, it's only a few tenths of a gram heavier than your AFX. So in other words, if you strip all that out of that body, you can have one just as light if you want to race it. Not very hard in a Mega G. In the Mega G Pluses, it's hard because you have to tear open that can motor. On the Mega Gs, it's just like a Tyco, or here's a Mega G right here. So there's your brush barrels. So they just done, it's not focusing very well, but trust me, there's your brush barrels, and they just slide out just kind of like a Tyco does. Clips out. Oh yeah, no, that's why we're going to record it, James, so that a lot of people, I know a lot of people don't stay up till 2:30 at night to race, because we usually take about a half hour to an hour of warming up, because we all want to try each of the lanes and kind of get a setup for that. Because believe it or not, we've kind of learned that you can set your car up differently depending on what lane you're running on my track. Because like I mentioned, if you notice how low that's sitting, the number 2 there, my shadow car, look at that. And if you could see, there's some light going through it, but not much. And I can't get the angle right. But irregardless, whenever I'm running this car around the track, I've started grooving the bottom of the body right here where the rails are, and there's significant grooves in the front. I don't know if it's going to show it. Yeah, I'm not gonna torture everybody, but trust me, there's grooves there from the thing. So you can let your body naturally work its way down to clearancing itself, or like what me and the other guy are going to do. I'm just going to take some sandpaper, put it on a board, take the body off, and scrub her down a little bit. Cool. Yeah. No drama. We're here to talk HL slot cars. So, and this is the last part of the show, the last 7-8 minutes of the show before I have to go back to work. So, yeah. And in case you guys are wondering, just like I always try to do, I try to help out and give as many tips as I can. That's why I'm trying to show you a step-by-step on how fast a change makes on this specific car or this specific car whenever I add a part to it, or made it slower or faster, trying to help you save money. And I didn't want people to spend money doing this and thinking they were going to get one of those Mark IV bodies, because you can see they sit really low and it not be able to go around the track, or be able to clip on your Viper chassis underneath it. So one of my other tips is if you do like this chrome GT40 body right here, this number 4, the chrome, and they call it the Gulf Orange version from Nitro Hobbies. If you like that car right there, you can buy that car on Amazon and get it shipped to yourself for free for the same price as what you'd pay on eBay and have to pay for shipping. So I know it's not much, but every dollar I look at is what I'm saving. I'm being able to put more money back into my slot cars. And you guys know how much I love my GT40s. And yeah, there you go. A strip of paper to magnet to clearance on the track. Yep. And see, there's the thing too, is a lot of people don't realize that I can modify my car on my track, like I said, and it may work good on my track, but it may not work on somebody else's track as well. And you may think that, well, a car is just a car, and it should. But I can tell you that depending on if you have banks or if you don't, if you've got elevation changes where there's a change in the angle of the track, then your ride height on the front of your car makes a big difference. And that can really change how your car handles if the front end's trying to de-slot it out of the lane that you're in. And on my, like I said, on my track, the yellow lane, the inside lane, is the sharpest 9-inch turn on the bank, and that's the one that has problems. So every time I go around the track right now, you hear this thing go, and it's going so fast that even though it's de-slotting, the magnets are holding it in place until it wore it down. And now that it's wore down, man, it's just hugging and going. But rather than take my time having to wear it down like it did naturally and putting up with it de-slotting, regrettably, that's the nicest that's going to look, because I'll show you what I have to do to modify it. And then there it is, Rich. You bring me to the other thing, is the rail heights fluctuate. So even if you got a tech setup block, is what they're called, for your tech support races. Just in case you don't know, if you go to a hobby shop or they have a sanctioned HOPRA race, then they will tech your car. It can only be so wide, it can only be so low, and so it's just you got they will make sure that the rail heights are a certain height on that track, so that or try to anyway. Try to make sure that it's even. But like Patrick or Beach will tell you, even some of those tracks that they go to, the rail heights will vary a little bit. So that'll affect the way your car handles. And so when you're teching your car, even those tech blocks have different heights that you can order so that you can match your own track. So what I'm getting at is, even though I'm going to show you how I modify my cars and how I make cars on my track fast, you're still going to have to tweak them for your track, because everybody's track is different. Unless you have the exact same layout like mine, then there's things you're going to have to do to it. Yeah, that's it. See, Mark. Yeah, that's what Beach was saying, that everybody was having a tough time because there was some rail height difference on that track, and some people had their cars set up too low. And see, that's what I wanted to point out. Even if you could get a Viper chassis on this one, I don't know that you could run it, because look how low that nose is. It's even lower than the chrome one. See that? That thing sits low. It barely clears with the big old factory rims on it. So maybe it's a good thing that you couldn't put a Viper chassis underneath one of them. You know what I'm saying? How low can you go? It's like the limbo. You went through 4 different tire sizes. Well, I found out, okay, so the first box, I showed you guys here. I still got the Viper parts right here. I showed you guys, and Mark's well aware of this, but some of you may not. If you're going to follow along and try to save money, this is why I did this. Is because the only way to know these things is if you test, and Mark knows this. And so I got 4 different heights right here, and 4 different heights of tires. And regrettably, I went down from the factory that they put on, factory size that they put on the V specs. I went down sizes. So I went down incrementally 4 different sizes. And come to find out that even if you put just the next size down lower on my track, because the rail height's different so much, that it starts dragging the car and it slows it down. So now I've got to go back and order tire heights that go up. So I spent $12 on 4 sets of tires that right now I can't use. He kept high center. Yeah, see, in case you guys are wondering why I'm harping on the height thing so much, is because I can tell you right here, right now, this is the reason why. Because I switched from the Mustang body that I had to a GT40 body, and as you can see, even just bone stock factory, how much the Mustang sits higher. Now, if I take and show you the car I'm running now, look how much higher that body is. Okay. And high weight is called a high center of gravity. And if you're trying to go around a corner fast and your high center of gravity, it's going to make it easier for it to roll over in real life and on your cars. The thing that happens with these cars, because they're so fast, if they start doing a tilting thing, it's like an on-off switch. They'll slide a little bit and then they're gone. There is no like this T-Jet stuff where it wags the tail around and then comes back. Most of the time with these type of cars, when that tail comes out, if it goes out too far, the car just flies. And that's because of the magnets. And to help stop that roll and lower that center of gravity, that's where I discovered the GT40 body. So there's the perfect example. That's why I wanted to show those right there. Look at that height difference. So when I went from racing this thing to this thing, when I went from racing the Mustang to the GT40, I picked up almost 0.2 of a second. And it wasn't because the body's that much heavier. If you notice how narrow that Mustang body is, because it's an auto world, it's small. Look how much bigger that GT40 body is. So weight-wise, they're about the same, but it's the height. Look at that height difference. So there's the thing there. There's my tips. So now you're going to get to see the car that's going to be our Viper V-Spec guinea pig test car. That's going to be the Chrome number 4. And then we'll have the Shadow as my backup. And then we got my awesome custom Mustang that I'm going to add traction magnets to, that I added Steve's wheels to. So we're going to get to follow this channel is going to get the updates and stuff like that. If you don't get to see the live racing on the Saturday nights to see how any of these cars do with any of their modifications. And then every Monday night after I'm done showing off the track sets that we're showing off, then I'll give you guys updates on what happened if you don't want to sit and stay up late or watch the shows later. I check my magnets. I have it's called, what you're talking about, Arbuckle, is a gauze meter. And that measures the amount of a magnetic attraction or downforce or pull that a magnet has. And I'll be breaking that out and showing you guys the difference between like a level 4 magnet and like a level 10 magnet on a Viper, to show you the strength difference per se. And Mark SLOTCAR Garage has already done that several times, showing how the downforce meter on his thing does. But I've actually got a gauze meter that actually reads the strength of each magnet. Oh yeah, that's the thing about the rails. If you've got a height indicator, then like you just said right there, you can file them all to try to match if you're on a completely flat surface. You know, it would take a lot of work for me to try to do something like that on my track, especially with the banks and stuff. It's not, you know, it's going to be one of those, you know, like every racetrack has its own personality. Well, that's my track's personality. You're just going to have to deal with it. Get the laser level. No. And they were, my buddies were asking me Saturday night, they were like, so what have you done to your car? How fast is it? And I was like, the track hasn't been fired up since you were here. And the last time you saw the Shadow was his tail end, and he hadn't been on the track since. Because like I told you guys, if you missed the show Saturday night, as soon as I found out an hour before I went live on Saturday night, the guy said, hey, can we come over after the show's over and do some racing? And so I didn't have any time to prep, but as soon as they all found out, yeah, we're doing it, the other two guys, then the smack talking started. It was immediate. Oh, and that's half the fun of our racing. You know, like I said, we all got our cars, have our own nicknames, like I said, as I'm sure other people have on their tracks. You know, like I said, my black one here is called the Shadow. The other guy has the number 95 GT40, and so he calls it old 95. And then the other guy has the red version of the PTT pit kit, and since his car's red and it's got that Mexican sponsorship on it, he calls it El Diablo. She wishes she could race as good as you. Your track's personality is an ale. Oh, crack me up. Oh, that's so awesome. You guys are killing me. Well, guys, it's I've got about 2 minutes left before I have to log back in from my lunch break that I've got to enjoy with my friends. I have to say, this is the best lunch break I've had working ever. I never got to sit around and talk slot cars and get good chuckles from the comments in the chats and stuff. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. You see why I stay skinny. I skip lunches and meals and drink Mountain Dew and talk about slot cars. So send you glasses in a giveaway. Well, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I have to go back to work till the midnight hour. So those of you that have to work tomorrow, I'll think about you when I'm asleep. You think of me while I'm asleep, because I know a lot of you are on the East Coast time and you'll be in bed by the time I get off work. So once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed the Monday night show. Please, please, please look for the video to come out on Wednesday night, and make sure that you put in there, I want to win, because this Saturday night is the last night that we're doing the I want to win referral thing for the loaded comments. I've got another way that we're going to do the 3K giveaway winners, but you have to tune in Saturday night to find out. But this Saturday night, you've got to comment on Wednesday's video to be eligible to win. If we hit 60, 70, or 80 viewers, I'll give away a pit kit on each one of those levels. And if we make it to 100, I'll give away that awesome AFX GT40, brand new in the package, that looks just like that. So if you want a chance to win, all you have to do is be a subscriber. You have to comment, I want to win, and then you have to show up on Saturday night. If you're a member of the channel, all you have to do is comment, and you don't have to show up on Saturday night. And if you win, you still win because you are a member, and that's one of the benefits. So thank you to guys again for showing up tonight. Look for the video on Wednesday night. If you haven't checked out the new video I just put out on Sunday on the new AFX releases, go by and check that out. It's got the awesome Alfa Romeo F1 car. And if you know they're coming out with one of them, they're going to come out with more. So I can't wait to see them. And if you can stop that video and look at some of the details that they got on that car, it's pretty impressive. Don't know how long it's going to look that way once it hits the track, but it looks good. It looks good in the plastic now. So you guys take care until we talk again. Look for the video on Wednesday night. Until then, be sure and check out everybody's stuff in between now and then and say hi on the lives. They appreciate that as well as I know I do. Thank you guys for your support. Light some sparks and melt some plastic, guys. You guys have a good rest of your Monday night. Take care. Bye-bye.